So the internet is a great tool. It's a fantastic tool, right? I mean, it brought you here. Thanks for being here, by the way. And it's fantastic. I love it. You can get tons and tons of research. Like right now, I'm about to review this Liga Privada Anniversario, right? And so what do? I go on there and I check out some websites and I check out some stuff and I just do some research. And the stuff that you can get from the internet is just sometimes overwhelming, but is amazing. And now we've got this AI thing, right? And AI is great, but it will never tell you what a cigar tastes like other than what is printed up there. I mean, let's face it. I'm not a cigar researcher at my core. I'm a cigar smoker. So I'm just gonna, man, look at that thing right there. Look at that cap. Right? Look how gorgeous that is. Look at that foot. I mean, you can't get that. You can get pictures of it. You can see it. But you can't smoke it. But while I got it up, I just thought I would kind of give you an inside track to what I do when I review cigars. Now, I'm going to smoke the cigar. That's for Dad Jim Shore. And because it's dark in here and I don't want to set my pants on fire, I'm going to cut that foot off, that shaggy foot. Or that closed foot. I like a closed foot because you get to taste that wrapper before you taste the rest of the cigar. But reviewing is kind of difficult. So, tons of stuff you can find on the internet. I highly recommend you search the cigars you're smoking because you can get all sorts of information, interesting things. I mean, let's face it. They put things on these media websites and they put on their personal websites, their company websites, so that you kind of whet your appetite for what you're buying, because let's face it, there are tons and tons and tons of cigars out there, and they got to have a reason for you to say, ooh, let me get the first one, because if it's good, you only got to sell the first one. The rest are going to sell themselves. That sounds pretty good, right? Help if I toast it a little bit more. Get a little more toast on this, and then I'll do a little reading. Why not? Join me, won't you, as we take a little walk through the intranet. Now, one of the things I like is stories. I do. I tell lots of stories, mostly true, some true. Well, there's truth in some of them. But there's stories usually painting a picture about something interesting about this. Like Jonathan Drew's comments on this. The hard work began deep in the valley, hunting for the dense, lush leaf required to turn our dream cigar into a reality, said Jonathan Drew, the company's president and co-founder. In a press release, the cigar symbolizes the bond of partnership between farmer and manufacturer to grow Criollo Capa that is worthy of unmatched celebration. Exclusively grown for Drew Estate, I challenged Willie Herrera and the factory team at La Gran Fabrica Drew Estate. It's in Nicaragua. The cigar that could live up to the broadleaf bully that we have come to love to celebrate the 10 years of Liga Privada, right? You get to learn that just by that. You don't have to learn that by watching, man. You don't. Let's go further. Let's see. Go through that. Pretty pictures. All right, so this tells us, and it's kind of neat because I like this stuff. I do. The wrapper is a Connecticut Criollo from the United States. The binder is a San Andreas Otapa Negro Ultimo Corte from Mexico, and the filler is Nicaraguan and U.S. Pennsylvania U.S. blend. Length is 6 inches. The gauge is 52. Vitolas Toro. It even tells them what the MSRP is. I tell you, but I'd get in trouble. I tell you what this website is, but I'd get in trouble. Let your fingers do the walking. Just type in the name, and it'll come up with a bunch of stuff. You can read about it. You can watch reviews too. And my review hopefully will be up there. If not, go to my website or go to my YouTube channel, and you'll find it. You're already here. You can also go to our ChevettiReport.com. You can check out a lot of the press releases. Chief does a great job on there. And then you get into flavor notes. I caution you. Some of the stories that they write on the flavor notes seem a little bit embellished. Any cigar. Because they're trying to paint a picture. I get it. That's what I'm doing. I'm painting you a picture. But some will try to paint a bigger picture than what it is. Let's face it. This is just a bunch of rolled up leaves aged in all sorts of certain ways with a little bit of glue and a nice pretty band and a pretty box or a little pack. All that stuff is great, right? Talks about a combination of the fantail cap, a covered foot, and gorgeous espresso brown wrapper that has distinct reddish hue to it. The adjective distinctive does not do the Liga Privada 10-year anniversario justice. Talks about how dense it is. Then it gets into the flavors and gets into the smokability. All good stuff. I like it. When I'm not reviewing cigars, I get a new cigar, I like to read about it. I also like to follow all sorts of websites and look at their press releases and the press releases that come to me. But at my core, I'm not a cigar historian. I'm not a cigar scientist. I'm not even a cigar media personnel. At my core, I'm a cigar smoker. And so what's most important to me, move the microphone closer, Bob. There we go. What's most important to me is how it tastes. And in my videos, it's my goal to be honest with what's in my palate, what I'm tasting, so that you can look at it, and if you trust me, and if our palates align, because people have different palates, taste different things, then you can say, that's something that's for me, or that's something I might pass on, because I want you, just like cigar manufacturers, to have the most perfect moment you can have when smoking a cigar. And I can't tell you where to smoke. I can't tell you who to smoke with. I can't tell you what to pair it with, if you pair it with anything. For me right now, it's a little bit of Diet Pepsi. Middle of the day, bourbon seems a little early. And I want to tell you the flavors so that you can make that choice of your money and, most importantly, your time. Because you can always make money. You can. You can't always make time. I mean, you can make your health better so you last longer, but you don't know how much time you got. There's buses out there. There's all sorts of things. Trees fall. I mean, life happens. So this could be the very last cigar you smoke. And I believe, like manufacturers, I want that last cigar that you smoke and every one before it to be the perfect moment for whatever you're doing, whatever you're enjoying, whether you're working out on a shop, whether you're hanging out with your friends, whether you're by yourself, whether you're celebrating, whether you're grieving, whether you're just taking a pause, because Lord knows we need a pause. I do. Life is busy. God, the commitments. Family. I love my family. Work. I don't love my work, but I love the money that comes with it so that I enjoy my job. But, I mean, I'd rather be sitting there smoking cigars with you. But I want to make sure that what I taste is what I share with you so that you can make your decision. I may tell you sometimes to go out and get this cigar. Don't walk, run. If you can't find it in your lounge, can't find it in brick and mortar, go online and get it, because I think you ought to have it. But you know what? In reality, I just want you to have a great experience. And I think that for whatever reason, that cigar that I was smoking is a great experience for that moment. Not only their flavor profiles, all sorts of different flavors, different cigars coming from different countries, different manufacturers. It's also different amounts of time. You get a small cigar, it's going to take less. You get a big cigar, it's going to take longer. Maybe you like a cigar that fits in your mouth a little narrower, like a Lancero. Maybe you're a big old 7x70, right? Who knows? You do. Maybe you like these flavors to that flavors. Maybe your price point is something that, you know what, I got to stay on the lower bottom of the shelf, or I need to go top shelf Bugatti. There's something for everybody at every time, right? Don't let anybody tell you what you should smoke or what you shouldn't smoke or how you should smoke it. I highly recommend that you light one end and you puff on the other, and don't get those confused, because that'll mess up your flavor profile and your tongue. It won't. Well, maybe it'll be good for you, but it won't be good for me. So I say all that to say this. The Liga Privada Anniversario, the 10-year anniversary of the Liga, is a great event cigar, a great moment cigar, a great celebratory cigar. This is not a cigar that I would personally do mowing my lawn or working in the shop. I wouldn't smoke it on the beach, honestly, because of the wind and everything else going on. I really want to pay attention to it because the flavors on this thing are the highlights of the anniversary of a cigar that is just industry changing. When this cigar came out, when the first Liga Privada hit the shelves, it really shook the world, I believe. It was unexpected to come from Drew Estate because they were the wacky tobacco guys, right? They were the infused and the acids and the weirds and the this and the that and some of the middle shelf. And this really was a jump into the ball. This was a jump into the top hat and tails crowd, gloves and white gloves and iron tablecloths, while still maintaining that subculture DNA, right? It's receivable, it's achievable, it's obtainable, it's inviting, it's inclusive, while maintaining an exclusivity. Because when you're smoking this, it's just for you. So the flavors. That can't tell you what I'm tasting. The internet can't tell you what you're tasting. If what you read on the internet says it's supposed to taste like this and you taste something else, you know what? The internet is wrong for you. Because everybody has a little different flavor. But with me, the overarching theme of this is just warmth. It's got some leathers. It's got a little cedar, a little oakiness. It's got a little bit of hints of like cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg, just barely rolling around. Just that little bit of maybe a cloviness, maybe a green tea-iness just floating around in the edges. As it goes back, I can talk about it, even though I haven't gone back far on this. I can talk about it because I have smoked a lot of these. I love these. This is one of my favorite cigars. Savage Feast especially. That's a Vitola of this blend. I really, really enjoy it. That's probably the reason why Jonathan Drew chooses that to be his exclusive cigar. He gives out at events, Barnsmokers, and other events they're doing. He's got to be there for you to get a hold to the Savage Feast, and it's truly a signature cigar for Jonathan Drew to put into people's hands to say, this is one of the best that we make, and we want you to have it. Thank you for being here. Let's punctuate this moment. The flavors are dark. They're full. Vitamin N is medium to full. I wouldn't do it on an empty stomach. I wouldn't do it in a hurry. I wouldn't do it while running a marathon, but then I'm not going to run any marathons. Actually, if I'm running, you better run too, because whatever's behind me is really, really bad. That's a fact. But what I like about this cigar, I think most, is the way the flavors hit my palate. They wash over my tongue, fill every nook and cranny like gravy. It just fills up everything. Cut my light back on my computer so that you can see my pretty face. No, but my face. It just has a simplicity, yet it's not simple. So, if those flavors are in your wheelhouse, I highly recommend you get one to punctuate a moment, to take a pause, to relax. We've all had weeks where we're like, you know what, I just need a break. Sometimes we have months like that. And I think that this will be a cigar that you could get a hold to and say, you know what, it was worth it to spend my money. It was worth it to spend my time. I'm glad I took this moment for me. But, like I said, if you don't like it, I'm wrong. For you. For me, it's all right. So, I'm going to go. I'm going to look around on the internet. I'm going to enjoy the cigar. During that time, I'm going to be thankful for you. I'm thankful that you're here watching this video, giving me a reason to smoke this cigar. Of course, I'd smoke it anyway. But also that you make the world a better place. I truly believe that. And I'm thankful for you. So please, take care of yourself. And if taking care of yourself, giving yourself a pause, is smoking a good cigar, I hope, it is my hope that you smoke a good cigar whenever you need to. And you smoke a good cigar whenever you want to. At every cigar you smoke, whatever the price, whatever the Vitola, whatever the company. And that's exactly what you wanted. Because that's what I want. I want you to have an awesome day. I love you. I'll talk to you later. Later, Tater.